What's up, everybody? Jason up New Age Revolution down here in the cave with a very, very, very exciting pickup here. It has come. It has finally arrived. I teased it last week. And then I sat outside on my front porch and rocked back and forth waiting for the postman to deliver it. And as usual, the USPS lets me down. And a few days past its due date, they finally delivered it. That's right. They finally delivered the perfect package. It is here. It is sitting at my feet. And I am absolutely blown away by my new friends over at XOX by Random Treasures on Etsy. That's right, my friend Net. My new friend Net, my new best friend. Net and her crew, her gang, including a fella called Kevin over at Print Fury Customs. My friend Net and XOX by Random Treasures on Etsy has done something. They have done something that changes the LJN Wrestling Superstars game. That's right, they have figured out the secret. The secret way to bring back the 1989 figures that never were, and possibly some figures from 90, 91, 92. You know how I feel about custom LJN Wrestling Superstars figures. You know how I feel about taking a Tito Santana and painting him white and stripes and calling him Danny Davis, right? Calling him Dangerous Danny Davis. You know how I feel about that. I can't get behind that. But what I have in my hands, in my perfect hands, by the way, is not a custom. Not as we know it. No, indeed, what we have here, through the collaboration of Print Fury Customs and my friend Net at XOX Customs by Random Treasures on Etsy, what we have is a perfect piece of rubber. We have a perfect figure. We have a perfect unpainted cast mold rubber pliability of Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, ladies and gentlemen. The LJN Wrestling Superstars figure that never was, now is. Thanks to Net and XOX Customs by Random Treasures. Check them out right now on Etsy. Look at what I have in my hands. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about the Jakks Classic Superstars that were about 2 inches smaller than the LJNs. We're not talking about the San Francisco toy maker LJN style figures that are made of like hard rubber, you know, concrete basically. We're talking about an almost identical replica of the figures that we grew up with, the figures that we love. These are the same size, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Perfect is going to town on Tito Santana. Guys, these are not figures that have been put together with pins. They're not cut. We didn't cut different arms and different legs and different heads and put them all together and make a Frankenstein figure. No, indeed. We have an actual one-piece figure right there. It's not going anywhere. The head's not falling off. Nothing's going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have as close to a Mr. Perfect LJN figure that you'll ever get. This is not a Greg Valentine painted up like Mr. Perfect. This is not a Roddy Piper with some, you know, clay molded on his extra hair. No, look at that hair. This is handcrafted, 3D printer, then taken from that 3D print, given to XOX Customs, and they make a full-on rubber cast mold of our favorite figures in the world. It's pliable, guys. You can move the Mr. Perfect's legs around. It looks and feels like the figures that we grew up loving. Let me tell you, first of all, take another look at this face. I don't know how they did it. I don't know what this whole 3D printing is, but there he is. There's Mr. Perfect. Let me tell you about these folks. A friend of the channel linked me to their Etsy page and said, check this out. And I went over and checked out the XOX Customs by Random Treasures. Because Random Treasures, by the way, is the name of their brick and mortar store in Maryland. We'll get to that in a minute. But I went over to that website, that Etsy, right? And I saw what they were doing. They are taking figures that are so expensive in the LJN world. They are taking those figures and they are recreating them as unpainted molds, just like this, that they will ship to you unpainted, and you can paint them any style you want. Or, for an extra price, they'll paint them for you, and their paintwork is pretty darn good. Guys, I'm talking about not only the one-of-a-kind Mr. Perfect figure that we never ever got, but Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter. Ladies and gentlemen, the LJN / Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter can be yours for a fraction of the price that that figure is selling for on eBay. That is an $800-900 figure and beyond. You can get it by XOX Customs Random Treasures for a tenth of that, ladies and gentlemen. A tenth of that. You don't want to shell out the big bucks for Haku? You don't have to. Get one from Random Treasures. You don't want to shell out the big bucks for the Warlord, for the Big Boss Man, for Hacksaw Duggan, for Ted DiBiase, for Red or White Shirt Hogan, or for the one-of-a-kind Mr. Perfect LJN figure. Go to Etsy. Go to XOX by Random Treasures. XOX Customs is their studio, and they are putting out some serious product. This artist, my friend Net, has only been doing this for 8 months. 8 months. Started off with He-Man figures, just making He-Man figures, and then decided to get into the greatest toy line of all time, the Wrestling Superstars. And what does she do? Boom, she bangs out a Mr. Perfect with her help from Kevin over at Print Fury Customs. But check it out, guys. Check out this incredible. This is the best likeness that I've ever seen on an LJN figure. That's Mr. Perfect's face. That's Mr. Perfect's hair. I don't know why you wouldn't get the Mr. Perfect, but if you need to fill in your gaps in your LJN collections, do not go spend $800, $900, $1,000 on a Sergeant Slaughter. Don't go spend $800 on a Haku or $800 on an Ultimate Warrior. The prices of LJNs are skyrocketing. Now you can get an absolute 100% replica of the Ultimate Warrior and paint them up yourself. Or pay my friend Ned a little bit more and she'll paint them for you. Now's your chance to get rid of the orange trunks on the Ultimate Warrior. Maybe you don't like the orange and yellow and blue on the armbands. Maybe you don't like the face paint. Maybe you don't like the pink high blood pressure skin tone that the Ultimate Warrior has. But you're going to get this exact replica figure in almost identical feeling pliability rubber right here. You're going to get the same thing, and you're going to get to paint it yourself for an absolute fraction of the cost. You don't have short-haired Andre? You can get him for about 45 bucks from my friend XOX by Random Treasures and paint him up yourself. You want to put him in yellow trunks? You can do that. You can do that. You want to give Hulk Hogan that American-made t-shirt? You can do that. My friend Net is an absolute tremendous artist, but she is also the proud owner of the Random Treasures brick and mortar store over there in Rosedale, Maryland. That's right, if you're headed to Rosedale, Maryland, stop into Random Treasures because she sells all kinds of awesome stuff. She's got the old stuff. That's her focus. The retro stuff, the stuff that you know and love about this channel. But if you want some pops or you want some NECA stuff, or you want some of the more modern collectibles, they're also going to be there at Random Treasures. But take a look at some of the photos of her store. I see LJNs, I see Hasbros, I see Wrestling Buddies, I see G.I. Joe, I see He-Man. It's all there at Random Treasures in Rosedale, Maryland. But if you don't get a chance to do that, go on Etsy right now and take a look at XOX by Random Treasures. That's all you do. You type that in. And all of the LJN replicas that she offers are going to be right there, including the Mr. Perfect. Full disclosure, the Mr. Perfect is $80. That's a no-brainer to get your very own one-of-a-kind, unproduced, but perfectly designed Mr. Perfect LJN figure. Oh, by the way, she throws in a towel. You're going to get that for 80 bucks. That's outstanding. You're going to get a Sergeant Slaughter for a tenth of what he's selling for on eBay. And you get to paint him up any design that you wanted. Or for a few extra bucks, my friend is going to paint it for you. And she's texting me right now. Go on XOX by Random Treasures on Etsy now. Now. I want us all, I want us, this whole New 80s Revolution family to have a Mr. Perfect LJN figure that we can add to our collections. Look at the comparison. This is finally a person who's going to make LJN Customs made an 8-inch figure. Finally. Same thickness. Same pliability. Here you are. There you go. This made my night when I saw it, when I got the link sent to me. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this to come in the mail. Oh, don't worry. XOX by Random Treasures sent it out like within an hour. I watched it. I watched it in Customs. It went from Maryland to Rochester, back to Maryland, and then back to Rochester. Thank you, USPS. You are by no means perfect. Like this LJN Mr. Perfect full one-piece figure. There's no pins holding this together. This is not a Frankenstein job, ladies and gentlemen. This is an absolutely perfect LJN replica figure. Now, I have got to figure out how to paint this. Okay? I've asked a few people in the business. I've asked my friend Net. She told me what paints to buy. And you and I are going to journey together while I turn this into a Mr. Perfect figure. I know what it should look like. I know what it should look like. Net sent me a copy of what it should look like. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best to paint this thing properly. Now, that's not the biggest news. The biggest news, and I want you guys to order these figures from her because we need certain figures from the 1989 line that never was. But there's one more that we can check off that list because breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, XOX by Random Treasures is releasing 2 figures in the coming weeks. Number 1 is a figure that we have all wished that we had. This was a figure that was supposed to be made in 1989, and now it can be ours because XOX Random Treasures on Etsy is creating a bad news brown figure. I have seen it. It is 100%. It is a perfect figure. She is also creating, for some of you later on fans, some of you 91, 92, 93 fans, she is creating a Razor Ramon LJN Wrestling Superstars figure. Who would have thought? unbelievable Bad News Brown Razor Ramon coming from XOX by Random Treasures on Etsy to go with the Hulk Hogan, the Kamala, the Sergeant Slaughter, the Warlord, the Big Boss Man, the Haku, the Mr. Perfect LJN. We need to give this person enough business that she will take our special requests. Buy up these figures so that we can go to XOX Customs by Random Treasures and say, look, we need a Demolition Smash. We need a Barbarian. We need a Brother Love. We need the Bushwhackers. We need figures that were promised to us in 1989. We were teased and then our line ended. Our childhood came crashing down. But XOX Customs by Random Treasures has recreated our childhoods right here. We can finally have that Mr. Perfect versus Hulk Hogan match. Mr. Perfect and Tito Santana in the finals of the Intercontinental title tournament. So much more coming from my friend Nat at XOX by Random Treasures on Etsy. Check them out. Go to their Facebook page. There's going to be links all over this video. Go to their Facebook page. Go to their store in Rosedale, Maryland if you happen to be nearby. But more importantly, jump on her Etsy page right now and let's all get our hands on the Mr. Perfect LJN. Look at that face. I cannot say it anymore. Thank you, Net. Thank you, XOX Customs. Thank you, Kevin from Print Fury Customs. Because you guys are doing huge things and you're changing the game for the LJN fans. I'm going to go order the paints off of Amazon, and in a couple of days, we're going to come down here. I'm going to get some good high-quality brushes, and we're going to give it our best effort at turning this into a Mr. Perfect. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get started on that. Go to Etsy right now, XOX by Random Treasures. Buy them all. And then let's get a Smash and a Barbarian made from this incredible artist. I will see you all soon. Good night now.